It's almost!
He's done it again! Unbelievable!
Oh, straight into the roof of the net.
Nice one.
Straight down the middle. So a good performance from both teams here today.
Hello and welcome to Firstpost. I'm Rupha Ramani. Let's get started. There's a lot lined up today. Here's glimpses of what to expect and what's in store. Fans lie at the center of two of our stories today. They can be joyful, passionate, loud and rude. The source of a player's biggest strength and also can be the source of their downfall. Fans are running riot in the Indian T20 League. Mumbai is caught in the middle of a storm. Their new skipper Hardik Pandya has been booed at their home ground as well now. Rohit Sharma has tried to step in and diffuse the tension, but is that enough? Fans' outrage towards Germany's football jersey has also got the Federation and the manufacturers scrambling for damage control. They're facing the heat for number on their jerseys resembling the Nazi symbol. And to round it off, can any of the Indian chess grandmasters win the prestigious candidates tournament where top 8 from the world contest? Chess legend Magnus Carlsen doesn't think so. He says he would be shocked if an Indian wins. All of that on the show today, but first, Sports 360. Novak Djokovic is set to become the oldest world number 1 in tennis history. He will now surpass Roger Federer, who previously held the record at 36 years and 320 days. Djokovic, in fact, has begun his 419th consecutive week as the world number 1. Over in football and La Liga, Atletico Madrid beat Villarreal 2-1 yesterday. Axel Witsel gave Atletico the lead just 9 minutes after the match started. Villarreal equalized by Alexander Sorot's 50th minute goal. Substitute Saul Niguez scored in the 87th minute to help Atletico earn the hard-fought win. The win ensured Atletico stay in the hunt for a Champions League spot. In cricket, England's Ben Stokes has opted out of T20 World Cup. He says he wants to get fit enough to play as an all-rounder. Ben Stokes had hit the winning runs in the 2022 T20 World Cup for England. Ben Stokes, in fact, had come out of retirement to be available for the 2023 ODI World Cup just last year. Speaking of World Cups and Ben Stokes, umpire Marias Erasmus admits making a blunder during the 2019 ODI World Cup final. Erasmus said he, along with umpire Kumar Dharmasena, awarded 6 runs instead of 5 to an overthrow from Martin Guptill. Despite the two batters, Ben Stokes and Adil Rashid, not crossing each other for the second run. The scores were level and England had won on boundary count, if you remember, after the super over was also tied. And Mirabai Chanu has become the only Indian weightlifter to qualify for the Paris Olympics. She returned to action yesterday at the Weightlifting World Cup in Thailand. Chanu finished 3rd in Group B of the women's 49 kg division. The Olympic medalist had last competed at the 2023 Asian Games in China. If there is one person you do not want to be right now, it is Hardik Pandya. We knew it would be a difficult crowd waiting for him at his own home ground, Mumbai's own home ground at the T20 League, and predictably so. Hardik Pandya was booed at Gujarat, and even though that was harsh, it is predictable. The fans felt betrayed, and then he was booed at a neutral ground in Hyderabad. And when that happens, we sensed mayhem was going to come home, and surely in Wankhede, India's cricket stadium in Mumbai, where Mumbai Indians took on Rajasthan Royals, you had to wait for toss time to know it would all start again. And Sanjay Manjrekar, one of the commentators and a Mumbai boy, took it upon himself to tell the crowd to behave. Sanju Samson, the captain at the opposite captain, was applauding just as he was announced, and maybe that just spurred them to go at it some more. Sanjay Manjrekar is a voice in cricket, yes, but clearly he's not going to be enough to stop this bunch, and it is becoming a very predictable, sad and ugly picture. Just about everywhere Mumbai goes, and clearly there is no respite, not even at home now. I understand the feeling. Fans are invested. It is like questioning the football fans, the most passionate ones around the world, about why they get so physically involved, so invested in a game and react to the result in a certain way. We get the passion, but after a point you are tempted to say, give the guy a bit of a break, because What this is doing is taking all the attention away from the sport, from the game, from what could be some scintillating cricket. It is pulling Mumbai's morale down, and maybe that is the point of this. Fans of the franchise have turned against the team itself, and so it's great. They want to see the team lose. But that is the other question then. The purpose of a fan, a true sport fan, and in this case a cricket fan, is it to express and feel really, or is it to see your team win? Because fans stopped booing once Hardik started hitting and once Hardik started playing well with the bat, and cheering once he whacked those sixes and fours. He did end up being the top scorer for his side, although it was a very modest total. So I repeat, what is the purpose then? That is a loaded question, but former cricketers, commentators, even current players are shocked and surprised at this, because never have you seen such level of hostility and of this nature, of this magnitude, following a single player on a cricket field. This resentment all directed towards one of your own. India's R. Ashwin, who was involved in the match last night from the Rajasthan team, called for this to stop. In fact, sympathized with Hardik's position and had this to say.
People should remember which country these players represent. It's our country. Fan war should never take such an ugly route. I've said it many times. This is cinema culture. That happens only here. I know there are many things like marketing, branding and positioning. I don't deny it. But have you seen these fights happen in any other country?
He says you won't see this overseas. He's of course referring to just cricket. You know, for instance, between a Zach Crawley and Joe Root fans when it comes to England, or Pat Cummins and Steve Smith fans when it comes to Australia. It is happening here in India, he says, because of the movie culture syndrome. I'm paraphrasing him. He says it is the culture of good versus bad that is portrayed in films, and fans treating their superstars here like demigods. So management sidelining Rohit and instating Hardik Pandya has meant somehow that all ire will be directed towards the man who took the job. So what will stop this? We thought it would be Rohit Sharma, the man supposedly pushed aside, the one who Mumbai still sees as a leader, and he did his best to be there and show his support to Hardik Pandya on the field last night. He applauded Hardik's efforts and even tried shushing the crowd now and then. Clearly, that is also not enough. So what is the solution? I would say win and keep winning. The only way you can shut a crowd is to start winning. Simple as it sounds, and yet so tough to do. But maybe take a leaf out of the Aussie handbook, and as much as many of you would not like it, Pat Cummins, the captain of the Australian cricket team, said this before that World Cup final against a red-hot Indian side that was unbeaten in the tournament. He said he wanted to silence the crowds. Seemed cocky and full of arrogance back then, and many probably thought to themselves, here goes the Aussie talking up the talk before he can even do the walk. But the team followed that up with a superb performance. He managed to silence that crowd, that massive crowd at the Narendra Modi Stadium, and even won them over. Look at the way the crowd here in India adores Pat Cummins as he leads the Hyderabad franchise at the T20 League. And I'm not saying fans need to be won over. And in this scenario, that seems really unlikely and tough. But one other sure short way to cancel the noise is just to unplug it. And Hardik Pandya can only do that by rallying his troops and getting wins under their belt. That said, though, there were actually a lot of memorable things that came out of the game last night, like the rise of Riyan Parag, the youngster in the Rajasthan ranks, sedate, sensible half-century to see Rajasthan through, the terror of Trent Boult and his bowling partner Nandre Berger, who says he didn't want to take up cricket, it was just a side profession. In the power play overs, they seemed deadly, proving Trent Boult is one of the best in the world. And then, of course, the unbelievable catches, starting with the captain at the start, Sanju Samson behind the wicket. Rajasthan took some stunning catches in the field that just added all the pressure on Mumbai and really made the difference in the game. What can spark controversies ahead of a tournament? A statement by one of the players, a rule change perhaps, a slogan that didn't sit too well with a section of fans. But would you believe if I said it is a jersey? Now let me backtrack a bit to give you some backstory here. This story revolves around Germany, a country that has been hailed for its footballing prowess and boasts of a rich legacy in the sport, and is all set to host the 2024 UEFA European Football Championship. But with little over 2 months left for the mega tournament to take place, Germany is already facing the heat for its 2024 Euro jersey. Yes, a jersey has upset many fans across the globe. Germany's number 44 jersey has an uncanny resemblance to the Nazi symbol. The design of the number 44 jersey in particular, it has created a massive uproar, so much so that the manufacturer Adidas had to ban fans from customizing the jersey online. Take a look.
The German Football Association, or the DFB, is facing the wrath of fans. A country that has bossed football for years is being pushed into the corner by fans raging over their new jersey launch. The jersey debuted during Germany's 2-0 win over France last month in an international friendly. The sporting outfit is set to be donned by the German players in the upcoming 2024 Euros. But currently the Euro 2024 hosts are under the scanner for their design of jersey number 44. The flare-up began with reports drawing attention to the design of the number 44, resembling the symbol used by World War II-era Nazi SS units, a unit that was responsible for mass killings, including millions of Jews. The symbol is banned in Germany and can even be met with criminal prosecution. So it's obvious that the uncanny similarity is facing a lot of criticism. The manufacturer Adidas has claimed they had nothing to do with the design. They went ahead and said it was in fact the German Football Association that gave the final design. But after facing severe backlash, Adidas had to stop the personalization of the jersey. The manufacturers clearly did not want to find themselves stuck in this battle that no one saw coming. We will block the personalization of the jerseys in our online store. We as a company are committed to opposing xenophobia, anti-Semitism, violence and hatred in every form. The German Football Federation also halted the delivery of the number 44 jersey from its online portal. After allegations from Adidas, the DFB clarified that they are working on a new design for the digit 4. The new design will require an approval from UEFA or the European Union of Football Associations, something they clarified had been done in the first place.
The DFB checks the numbers 0 to 9 and then submits the numbers 1 to 26 to UEFA for review. None of the parties involved saw any proximity to Nazi symbolism in the creation process of the jersey design. Nevertheless, we take the comments very seriously and do not want to provide a platform for discussions. We will develop an alternative design for the number 4 and coordinate it with UEFA.
This isn't the only allegation that German football is facing. There's a lot of opposition for the use of bright pink for the away jersey. Critics claim the colour is not traditional and in keeping with the German football team colours. This is the second instance in recent weeks of an international football jersey sparking controversy. Earlier, the England football jersey faced the brunt of locals for altering the St. George's Cross, a symbol used on England's national flag. In England's jersey, the colour of St. George's Cross is traditionally white and red. That was changed to a multicolour cross which brought a lot of ire from various quarters. The manufacturers claimed it was to pay tribute to England's 1966 World Cup winning team. But fans and even politicians don't see it that way. From Prime Minister Rishi Sunak to opposition leaders and even fans, everyone expressed their anger over this. So clearly, in the quest of designing and experimenting, manufacturers and football federations seem to have misread public sentiments attached to something that may seem superficial, like a team jersey. At a time where some geopolitical relationships are getting more strained, anything seemingly innocuous could result in severe backlash. And more so in an era where media and the digital imprint is so strong. These backlashes could easily amount to any brand image being tarnished. German football and Adidas are scrambling to do some damage control and evade just that.
Magnus Carlsen is a tad confused. He's a legend of the sport, don't get me wrong, but I'm not quite sure which side of the fence he sits on when it comes to talent from India. I'll explain, but for that I need to set up the Candidates Tournament. It is the most prestigious chess event that features the best in the world. Sort of like a season-ending Masters in tennis, or what the Champions League did in cricket briefly before it was discontinued. The winners of the candidates tournament competes against the reigning world champion. The 8-player event is contested in both male and female categories. The participants are decided on their stellar year. The runner-up of previous World Championship match, top 3 finishers of the FIDE World Cup, top 2 finishers of the FIDE Grand Swiss tournament, and the winner of the FIDE circuit. Basically, only the best of the year to make it to the biggest stage. And the top contender in the men's list is Fabio Caruana. He is the only player other than Magnus Carlsen to enter the tournament with a 2,800 FIDE rating. And he has the experience to be here too. The 2024 edition will be his 5th straight representation. And of those 5, he has won 3 times. The second favourite on the list is Hikaru Nakamura. The 36-year-old is a 5-time US champion, and in the past 1 year, he has consistently featured in the top 5 every month. But amid the top contenders, the biggest talking point is the Indian contingent. Out of 8 players in the men's category, there are 3 Indians. This includes 18-year-old R. Pragyananda, 17-year-old Gukesh, and 29-year-old Vedit Gujarati, the most number of Indians at the candidates since the tournament began in 1950. Vishwanathan Anand, of course, who is a 5-time world champion, was the only one from 1991 straight to 2013 who were featured in this candidates tournament. So clearly, this is massive. But the same Anand says he doesn't see an Indian winning big here.
The Indians are a long shot. If they can keep the tournament going, that's good enough. If a late opportunity presents itself, they can grab it. They should first settle into the tournament and try to play good games. Let the big decisions come later.
Anand isn't the only one saying this, and that's where we come back to what we started with. Magnus Carlsen, 5-time world champion who declined to compete at this event, has been rather torn about his love for India and Indians playing chess. He says that that's, on the one hand, he says that's the future, the chess future, and on the other, he says this.
I do think the old guys are favourites this time, specifically Nakamura, Caruana and Nepomniachtchi. Nakamura and Caruana are the best and the most consistent players there. It would be surprising if Alireza wins, but if any of the other 4 win, it would be a shock.
Maybe it is the lack of experience, but we've seen a few of these youngsters shine, and although he isn't number 1, I'll put Pragyananda to lead this charge. He's had some outstanding victories, including 5 wins over Magnus Carlsen himself across all competitions. D. Gukesh is another teenager who's grabbing the headlines. Gukesh's rating has improved from 2,563, that was back in 2021, to 2,747, close to 2,800 this year. Gukesh is also the 2023 FIDE circuit winner. And among few others, they will come up against the likes of world champion Ian Nepomniachtchi, who will be a hard one to get past. But the Indian camp is quietly confident.
Our chess players have been doing well for the last few decades. It has been getting better and better with each year, with players raising the bar for the subsequent generation. It has all been leading up to this point. Suddenly, we have a few youngsters who have been racing upwards at a breakneck speed. Right now, India is probably the fastest growing nation in the world in chess. Almost everyone in the sport agrees the future of chess is with India.
It isn't just the men's category here that is grabbing all the eyeballs. The women's contingent too has 2 Indians, which includes Pragyananda's sister, 20-year-old R. Vaishali, and 36-year-old Koneru Hampi. This is in fact the first brother-sister pair to feature in the tournament history. So that is history in the making, but let's not discard Koneru Hampi's challenge here just yet. She's a former world rapid champion and has made it to the tournament because of her rating. But the big bets would be on Russia's Alexander Goryachinka and Katerina Lagno, who have the top billing in this draw. Chess is a slow burn, much like some of those movies that are slow to start but ensure a rousing finish. So do stay on to see who will come out of this big fight, and who knows, some of us may just be surprised. A time for last serve. Football craze in Brazil is well evidenced and documented, so much so that it isn't just restricted to the national side. It spans across the indigenous Amazon regions too. And despite the lack of facilities, it doesn't stop these Brazilians from pursuing the beautiful game. Take a look. That does it here on Firstpost. Thanks for joining in. I'll see you again tomorrow with more fresh perspectives here on Firstpost. Till then, take care.